a todos, bienvenidos, soy Jarko. Hoy os traigo algo nuevo sobre lo que es el universo Dragon Age. Bueno, más que nuevo, es algo que todavía no habíamos tocado en el canal y que quería enseñaros. Lo primero que quería decir es, bueno, advertir sobre que esto va a ser un spoiler sobre el Dragon Age Origins y el Dragon Age 2, ¿vale? Vamos a ver el Dragon Age Keep, que es una especie de aplicación que han creado en Dragon Age Inquisition y que nos permite, sin haber jugado los dos anteriores juegos, el Origins y el Dragon Age 2, tomar las decisiones que en esos juegos se tomaron para que veamos la influencia que esas decisiones tienen en el 3. Por ello, aparte de lo que son las decisiones, que voy a enseñar algunas, luego vamos a ver un resumen de lo que fueron esos dos primeros juegos. Así que si tenéis pensado jugar a esos juegos para descubrir la historia por vosotros mismos, no veáis este vídeo, ¿vale? Hola, buenas, pues este es el aspecto que tiene el Dragon Age Keep. Aquí lo que podemos hacer es, por ejemplo, estamos en la pantalla de Origins. Podemos ir tomando las decisiones que tomamos en el anterior juego. La verdad es que hay bastante que hacer. Bueno, aquí ya empieza el 2. Por ejemplo, una de las cosas que todavía no se puede hacer es lo que es modificar al héroe personalizado. Puedes elegir la clase, puedes elegir si era hombre o mujer, o la raza, pero de momento no se puede elegir pues lo que es el nombre o lo que fue en sí la personalización del propio personaje. Esto es una cosa que, bueno, me gustaría que llegaran a arreglar, porque desde luego mi personaje no era así. Pero bueno, por lo menos de momento pues se puede, digamos, importar en parte lo que tú hiciste en Origins a Dragon Age Inquisition. Por ejemplo, yo tuve una relación con Leliana, ¿no? Puedes ver aquí las cosas que hay de decisión, si te preguntas si diversos personajes pues o los reclutaste o no los reclutaste, si siguen vivos, qué ha sido de ellos. Y de hecho, en el trozo que llevo de Dragon Age Inquisition, hay muchas cosas que ya se han visto reflejadas, como Barrick contando parte de la historia del campeón de Kirkwall, que es el de Dragon Age 2, y también hemos visto ya alguna referencia a Dragon Age Origins. Vamos, se ha visto de los dos. El ar de risco rojo, las cenizas sagradas, no sé, vamos a poner alguna decisión o alguna cosa así. Por ejemplo, pues, a ver si encuentro dónde está. Lo de Brancas y ayudas a... aquí está, vale. Por ejemplo, con lo del yunque del vacío, pues yo pese a llevar más o menos unas decisiones, se podría decir, bueno, un personaje bueno, lo de los golems me puse del lado de la Paragon Branca y bueno, esta fue una decisión un poco controvertida para lo que era el personaje en sí. Luego, pues yo que sé, en Dragon Age 2 lo mismo. Puedes ver aquí, en este caso la relación que tuve fue con Merrill, ¿vale? Que era una maga de sangre. Isabela, por ejemplo, huyó con el libro, no la volvimos a ver. O Anders, por ejemplo, fue perdonado. Esta decisión me acuerdo que en Dragon Age Inquisition salió. De hecho, la guerra de los magos contra los templarios, el detonante fue Este, que Anders destruyó la capilla de Kirkwall. Y no sé, aquí supongo que según vayamos avanzando en el juego veremos muchas más cosas. O por ejemplo esto, que Barrick y Hawk fueron amigos. También podríamos haberlos hecho rivales, pero realmente en mi caso pues fueron bastante amigos. Por ejemplo, que matamos al Arishok, que era el Kunari este que estaba allí viviendo, y bueno, en fin, las decisiones que tomamos respecto a eso. Otra cosa bastante chula, que la vamos a ver ahora, y es en parte por lo que os he advertido antes de lo de los spoilers, es que se puede ver como un vídeo resumen que está bastante bien de lo que serían los dos juegos. Vamos a ponerlos, así que os voy a dejar con lo que sería el resumen de mis decisiones en estos dos juegos, ¿vale? Van a ir los dos del tirón. Vamos allá. Os recomiendo esta aplicación si no queréis jugar a los otros dos Dragon Age y queréis, bueno, tomar vosotros las decisiones que influyen en este tercer juego.
The stories, mankind's pride gave rise to the Darkspawn. Countless in number and toxic to all life, Darkspawn search endlessly for an archdemon. When they find one, darkspawn armies surge up from their corrupt barrows beneath the ground, and a blight begins. Grey Wardens are the only warriors capable of destroying an archdemon, and history always honors the one who sacrifices all to kill the beast. In the fifth blight, the Warden was the hero of Ferelden. Youngest child of Ferelden's powerful Terran Cousland. Betrayal saw the Cousland's ancestral castle burn, and the Terran and his wife slain. Duncan, a Grey Warden, helped the young noble escape to a new life with the Wardens. The allied Ferelden and Grey Warden forces met in Ostagar, where King Kaelin's armies and a host of Wardens gathered, ready to destroy the Darkspawn. But valor turned to despair as Loghain betrayed his king. Kaelin's forces were slaughtered, and the south was lost. The hero, now a full-fledged Grey Warden, survived with the aid of Flemeth, the mysterious witch of the wilds. Joined by Flemeth's daughter, Morrigan, and a Grey Warden named Alistair, the hero set out to build an army strong enough to abolish the Blight. With the traitorous Loghain now seated on Ferelden's throne, the Warden sought help from the influential Arl Eamon of Redcliffe. However, they arrived in Redcliffe to find the town under siege. As each night, undead rose in waves and assailed the battered village. With the hero's help, the people of Redcliffe stood fast against the undead horde. The Wardens reached Arl Eamon's castle only to find the Arl lying at the edge of death, and his court fallen into madness. To save his father's life, Eamon's young son, Connor, had made a deal with a demon, and quickly fallen victim to its possession. The hero intervened, freeing Connor from possession, and breaking the demon's hold over Redcliffe. But deals with demons are never straightforward. The demon agreed only to save Eamon's life, not restore him to health. Arl Eamon needed a miracle to recover. The hero located an urn containing the sacred ashes of Andraste, which were said to cure any ailment. The urn was protected by ancient traps, tests of will, and a dragon-worshipping cult that wanted to twist the urn's power to its own ends. The urn remained pure, but mysteriously disappeared after the Wardens departed. Only the temple dedicated to it still stands. With a pinch of the ashes, the hero restored the Arl to health. Informed of Loghain's treachery, Eamon swore his political and military support. The circles of Magi are bound by oath to aid the Grey Wardens in times of blight. However, Lake Calenhad's tower could offer little help. One of its mages, Uldred, had become possessed by a pride demon and was twisting other circle mages into abominations. The hero fought to the top of the tower and defeated Uldred, saving the remaining mages. Grateful for their lives, the mages joined the Warden's army. The allies gained at the Circle were not the only soldiers to join the Warden's forces, however. Dalish elves don't usually make alliances, but even deep hatred can be set aside in the face of oblivion. An ancient curse was destroying Ferelden's largest Dalish clans, turning the elves into werewolves. Zathrian, the clan's keeper, claimed that the cure required the heart of the great wolf, Witherfang. Years before, Zathrian himself had afflicted a group of humans with the curse that now ravaged his clan. As long as he lived, the curse endured. The hero freed the werewolves from the long-standing curse, and the Dalish joined the Warden's forces. Blights may happen hundreds of years apart, but the dwarves who live below the surface of Thedas fight Darkspawn every day. No one is better schooled in battling Darkspawn than the warriors of Orzammar, except perhaps their allies of old, the Grey Wardens. The hero arrived in Orzammar in the wake of King Endrin's death to find political factions fighting for control of the dwarven capital. Only the vote of a venerated paragon could break the deadlock to elect a ruler, and order the dwarves to honor their Grey Warden treaty and join the battle against the new Blight. The hero set off to find a paragon named Branka, who had disappeared into the deep roads in search of a legendary artifact, the Anvil of the Void, created by the renowned smith Caridin to forge mighty war golems. With Branka's help, the hero restored the Anvil of the Void, and a small army of powerful golems joined the Warden's forces. The hero emerged from the deep roads with a master-forged crown to bestow the Paragon's favor upon whichever rival candidate would be crowned king. Balin, the youngest son of King Endrin who was suspected of foul play, or Haramont, the aging traditionalist backed by the Dwarven Assembly. Lord Haramont claimed the crown of Orzammar. His traditionalist values keep dwarves first in all things, and safely as far underground as possible. With Dwarden's strength now bolstering the Warden's army, the hero had to deal with Loghain, so Ferelden could stand unified against the Darkspawn, before the Blight swallowed the world. The kingdom of Ferelden stood divided. While some nobles supported Loghain's regency, others condemned his inaction against the Darkspawn. Civil war brewed, and Arl Eamon called a landsmeet in hopes of curtailing the conflict and removing Loghain from the throne. Alistair ended Loghain's life in the name of justice for the Wardens who died at Ostagar. As the Warden's united army massed in Redcliffe, the Darkspawn overran Denerim, laying siege to Ferelden's capital city. The hero's army fought valiantly through Denerim and broke the Darkspawn's siege. On Fort Dracon's highest tower, the hero's strongest allies fought alongside the Warden in a final heroic battle against the massive Archdemon. The Archdemon was killed without the sacrifice of a Grey Warden's life. With no Archdemon to lead them, the Darkspawn scattered. Most fled underground, still teeming in number and always seeking a new Archdemon to awaken. The shattered kingdom of Ferelden embarked on a long journey to recovery. In the Blight's aftermath, strong leadership was crucial. Honora McTeer, daughter of Loghain and widow of Caelan, married the hero, uniting two of the most powerful families in Ferelden in rule. Ferelden still stands, as obstinate and resolute as the Dog Lords ever are, but the events of the Fifth Blight loom over it as the nation rebuilds. For people across Thedas, legends of the hero of Ferelden remain the nation's brightest beacons of hope during its darkest times.
Hasta aquí Dragon Age Origins.
It all began in Kirkwall, the fall of Knight Commander Meredith, the Kunari Uprising, and of course, the Chantry's destruction and the onset of Mage Rebellion. One person always stood amidst the swirling chaos: Hawke, the champion of Kirkwall. The Hawke family fled Lothering, refugees from the Blight. Leandra, mother of the champion, and siblings Bethany and Carver hoped to find refuge at her family's estate in Kirkwall, far to the north. While Hawke had no magical abilities, the champion was at the heart of events that ultimately led to the Mage Rebellion. The Hawks escaped the Blight with the help of Aveline Valen, a warrior and family friend. It's said that the family was also aided by Flemeth, the notorious Witch of the Wilds. Hawke's brother, Carver, never reached the Free Marches. He was killed by Darkspawn while protecting his family. The family's first years in Kirkwall were difficult. Leandra's brother Gamlin had lost the family fortune. The Hawks lived in poverty, forced to indenture themselves in return for entrance to the city. To pay off the debt, Hawke was forced to work for a gang of smugglers. All the while, Hawke and Bethany did their best to hide Bethany's magic from the Templars. Opportunity eventually struck in the form of a dwarf named Bartran Tethras, who was planning an expedition to the Deep Roads. It was a long shot, but with gold gained from the expedition, Hawke could free the family from its criminal creditors and further Templar scrutiny. Hawke met a rogue Grey Warden named Anders, who possessed detailed maps of the Deep Roads. These maps were crucial to the expedition's success. Once Hawke obtained them, everything else fell quickly into place. Bethany joined Hawke on the expedition. The siblings found ancient dwarven treasure and a statuette formed from a strange red lyrium. Bethany fell victim to the blight that suffuses the deep roads, but Anders led her to a group of Grey Wardens who were able to save her life. The gold Hawke recovered from the deep roads brought back Leandra's stately childhood home in Hightown. The Hawkes had barely settled into their new home when Leandra was murdered. A deeply sinister and twisted killing. Hawke hunted down Quentin, the blood mage responsible, but could not prevent Leandra's death. Leandra's tragic death was part of a critical problem facing Kirkwall. Rising tension between the city's mages, who felt increasingly oppressed, and Templars, who grew increasingly suspicious of their activities. Adding to the strain, a large contingent of Qunari had also established themselves in Kirkwall, much to the growing discomfort of the city's rulers. After their dreadnought was shipwrecked many years before, a group of stranded Qunari were allowed to remain in a cordoned-off area in Lowtown. As time passed, the Qunari made no effort to return home, and offered no explanation about why they remained. Tensions rose to a breaking point. Revered Mother Patrice, convinced the Qunari were a threat to the Chantry's faith, incited violence between the Qunari and the Kirkwall populace. Hawke knew that Patrice would bring about unnecessary conflict. Though the champion tried to stop her, Patrice orchestrated the murder of Seamus Dumar, a Viscount's son and a recent convert to the Qun. When her crime was discovered, a Qunari assassin killed her. After Seamus was murdered, the Arishok of the Qunari group lost patience with the humans of Kirkwall. They would now submit to the Qun or die. The Qunari struck hard and fast. They took the palace in Hightown and beheaded the Viscount to immediately quash any resistance. Aided by Knight Commander Meredith and First Enchanter Orsino, Hawke reached the palace and stood toe-to-toe with the fearsome Qunari leader. Hawke fought the Qunari leader. The fierce battle resulted in the Arishok's death and the liberation of Kirkwall from its brief occupation. The Qunari quickly withdrew from the city entirely. Hawke saved Kirkwall and earned the grudging respect of the city's Templars, mages, and nobility, along with the title that history remembers, the Champion of Kirkwall. Kirkwall's problems were still not over, however. After Viscount Dumar's death, Knight Commander Meredith took power and blocked all attempts to appoint a new Viscount. Under Meredith's command, the Templars tightened their grip on the mages, planning to suppress what Meredith saw as a growing rebellion. Anders, who spent years fighting for justice and freedom for his fellow mages, saw that the time for negotiation was past. He destroyed Kirkwall's chantry, killing hundreds, including Grand Cleric Elthina. This single act began a rebellion that spread from circle to circle, until all circles of Magi had risen up in defiance against chantry rule. Though Anders had done the unforgivable, something stayed the champion's hand. Anders survived the day, although many others did not. Fighting spread swiftly through the city. Some mages rebelled openly, many of them succumbing to possession. Templars turned their swords on mages who rebelled, and on those who did not. As First Enchanter Orsino refused to bend to the Templars, Knight Commander Meredith demanded that every mage in Kirkwall be put to the sword. Hawke saved many mages from Templar blades, keeping them from succumbing to possession or the temptations of blood magic. In the end, however, Hawke was forced to strike down Orsino, who had betrayed his own values by resorting to blood magic himself. The battle proved one thing. Knight Commander Meredith had gone mad. Hawke saw the truth of it when Meredith unsheathed her sword, and the red lyrium idol from the deep roads was embedded within it. The blade fueled her hatred and paranoia, as it had for months. After a horrific battle, The red lyrium of the Knight Commander's sword consumed her as she died. Meredith became a statue, her face a frozen mask of horror. Little is known of the champion since that final battle. However, Hawke's story lives on in legend and song.
Vale.
Memories of the indelible changes, the champion of Kirkwall.
Hasta aquí Dragon Age 2. Y bueno, espero que os haya gustado este resumen de la historia de tanto de Dragon Age Origins como de Dragon Age 2 y que nos sitúa pues en el punto anterior a, bueno, el comienzo de esta aventura de la tercera entrega de Dragon Age Inquisition. Como digo, bueno, espero que lo hayáis disfrutado y que sobre todo os recomiendo que lo uséis si es que vais a jugar a Inquisition. Podéis tomar las decisiones pese a no haber jugado esos juegos, o si lo habéis hecho, pues tal vez podéis cambiar alguna de las que tomasteis si queréis que sean de otra manera. Muchas de esas decisiones, incluso algunas menores, por lo que he podido ver ya, se van a ver reflejadas en este Dragon Age Inquisition. Me parece que es un punto interesante de esto, sobre todo porque está bastante elaborado el tema de las decisiones. Bien, pues lo dejamos aquí y en breve os pondré más Dragon Age. Un saludo.